His name was Sava. He was a Black Panther. The moment he stepped into a new territory, he became enchanted by its mistress, Kelly. Although he already had 2 cubs of his own, Sava still thought of himself as dashing and bold. But unfortunately, Kelly already had a powerful mate, Balin. As expected, Sava was badly beaten. A scar now marked his once handsome face. Yet, Sava refused to leave this land. Instead, he set himself a goal. One day, he would defeat Balin and claim this territory. Then, he dreamed Kelly would bear his cubs. Sava's coat was a rare jet black shade. It made him look majestic, but this very color often betrayed him. Even from hundreds of meters away, prey could spot him. So whenever he hunted, Sava tried his best to move without a sound. But before he could get close enough, the monkeys in the trees had already seen him and raised the alarm. It seemed Sava would go hungry again. Just as he sank into disappointment, he caught sight of his goddess on the hunt. At once, his spirits lifted. Kelly was hidden in the shadows, her eyes locked with determination on the monkeys above. But the monkeys were too swift. Kelly grew both furious and exhausted, nearly losing her footing. It was a pitiful sight. Seeing this, Sava thought his chance had come. He believed a few words of comfort might bring him closer to his goddess. But to his surprise, Kelly gave him only a glance before walking away. Her heart already belonged to another. What an awkward moment. What hurt Sava even more was watching helplessly as Balin flaunted his bond with her. Even the squirrels nearby chirped together, as if mocking him. This only fueled his resolve. He had to grow stronger. He had to defeat Balin and win Kelly for himself. Meanwhile, India's Kabini forest was in the grip of drought. Every day scorched under the blazing sun. This was especially harsh for Sava, whose black coat absorbed the heat with ease. Luckily, he discovered a perfect refuge, a lake deep within the forest. Even in drought, its waters remained plentiful. It was a lifeline for countless creatures within hundreds of kilometers. In other words, prey here was abundant. But trying to claim this place would be a grave mistake. For this land belonged to a tiger named Cow. It was his domain. The beast weighed nearly 230 kilograms. And a single strike could end Sava's life. But Sava had his own survival skills. The tiger's massive weight kept him from climbing trees. Thus, the branches offered Sava a safe refuge. Yet hunger forced him to take the risk of hunting. For if he could not even hunt, then how could he ever dream of defeating Balin? Elsewhere, Balin was on the hunt, his eyes locked onto a young deer. The mother's sharp instincts quickly warned her of the lurking danger. With a mother's instinct, she knew the only way to save her fawn was to send it fleeing, while she risked herself as bait, leading the predator away. But Balin was far too cunning to fall for the trick. He lunged straight for the fawn. The hunt was a success. It had to be admitted. Balin was truly a seasoned hunter. No wonder he had won Kelly's heart. Meanwhile, Sava's hunts ended in failure again and again. Frustrated, he went searching for his goddess. But instead, he stumbled upon a sight that shattered him further. Before his eyes, Kelly was tenderly caressing Balin. Balin's face glowed with satisfaction. And Sava, already miserable, sank deeper into despair, slipping away with his tail low. But fate seemed determined to mock him. Everywhere he turned, he saw creatures thriving and multiplying. Only he remained utterly alone. The thought of Balan enjoying Kelly's company made Sava burn with fury. He lashed out at a peacock to vent his rage. But once again, those wretched monkeys spoiled it all. Sava's anger exploded inside him. He swore the monkeys would pay for this. Yet in this sparse forest, a Black Panther like him found it hard to stay hidden. But things were about to change. The monsoon rains had finally ended for months of drought. A downpour breathed new life into Kabini's forest, and Sava found relief for his long-standing misery. Thick canopies now blocked the harsh sunlight, allowing him to conceal himself even in the daytime. But this lush environment wasn't Sava's alone to enjoy. It was also home to Indian wild dogs, dholes that roamed in packs, with an extraordinary sense of smell that could easily track Sava's movements. He was no match for them. Whenever the pack found him, his only choice was to scramble up a tree. Clearly, the wild dogs couldn't harm Sava directly. Their pack instincts meant they would never waste energy on just one prey. The lakeside, with its abundance of targets, was a far wiser choice. Together, the pack chattered and chased their quarry, but the elephants seemed irritated by their noisy pursuit. Though wild dogs never hunted elephants, the intelligent giants always kept their guard up. Despite the elephants' interference, the pack eventually succeeded. Watching their ferocity, Sava trembled, too afraid to descend. Suddenly, he noticed Cow, the tiger, lurking in the shadows. It seemed the beast had set his sights on a baby elephant. A reckless choice, to say the least, for elephants are not only intelligent, they are fiercely united in defense of their own. The herd quickly formed an unbreakable circle. The calf was safely shielded in the middle. This left KO with absolutely no chance. At last, Cow was driven away. But elephants are known for their long memory on grudges. Unfortunately, once the monsoon ended, hunting once again became difficult for Sava. However, he had learned a new tactic: to stay hidden in the shadows, masking his shape in the harsh sunlight. But to succeed, he still had to avoid the cunning monkeys who sounded the alarm. Sava managed it. He approached his prey undetected, without a single warning cry from the monkeys. By now, Sava was slowly adapting to life in Kabini's forest. He was growing stronger by the day, and the challenge with Balan was drawing closer than ever. Meanwhile, Kelly had just brought down a deer. As she dragged her kill, the tiger cow followed the scent of blood. Sensing danger closing in, Kelly rushed to hide her 2 cubs, but it was too late. The tiger had already spotted them and was preparing to strike. At that critical moment, a herd of elephants suddenly appeared. They remembered this tiger well. By chance, Kelly's cubs were saved. Kelly's 2 cubs were now nearing adulthood. That meant Kelly could once again enter the mating season. Sava picked up the scent marks she had left. It was the unmistakable signal of a female in heat. Of course, Balan the stronger male sensed it too. And in the end, who Kelly would choose depended solely on the victor. By now, Sava had grown powerful enough, whether to claim a territory of his own or to win the goddess of his heart, Kelly. Sava knew he had to fight bravely to the very end. And just as expected, Balan appeared. A battle was now inevitable. Perhaps because of age, Balan was clearly at a disadvantage from the very start. He even tried to flee up a tree, but he seemed to forget Sava was also an excellent climber. The fight ended swiftly. Balin was defeated. At last, Sava claimed the territory. And of course, Kelly was his as well. The only uncertainty that remained was what color the coats of their offspring would be.